Alright, so this video is to go over how to write the African trade simulation short paragraph. So here's the prompt, and this is the graphic organizer actually that's on the back of your prompt. I highly recommend that you use it because it will give you, it will basically break down the paragraph and how to write a successful one. So it starts off with, based on the trade simulation, a prediction can be made that the culture of, this is where you put in your name of your city. And then, how did your city change after trading with different cultures? You have to choose one of the cultures to write about. Now, let me go ahead and review. So, we just participated in a trade simulation, African trade simulation in, for the past 3 days. And you are one of the 7 cities. And here are the trade routes. And here are the trading items. Notice that on the left edge of the trading items, it would tell you where it came from. And of course, there is the word and the image of the trading item. And then in the lower right hand corner, it tells you which culture is being brought by these traders. So for example, jewelry is from Kilwa, and the traders from Kilwa also brought their language to your city. During the trade simulation, I had you guys record how many items you got, as well as how much I, L, and LAT, basically how much culture got into your city. So make sure you have this sheet out. If you don't have it for whatever reason, check with your group members and they will have it for you. Alright, so what do they mean? What does I mean? What about L and LAT? I also passed out this sheet that explains what each culture meant. Well, since there are 3 cultures, which culture should you write about? You should choose the culture that has the highest number, thus the biggest impact in your city, to write for your paragraph. So, based on your I, L, and LAT numbers, please choose the one that you have the biggest number. However, there's a caveat. There's an exception. Do not choose the one that your city started with. For example, Cairo started with I's, or Islam, right? They started with the Islamic culture. For this paragraph, they're asking you which new culture came into Cairo. So please do not write about how Islam changed your culture, because Cairo started with Islam. In other words, you should choose whether language or local African tradition would have the bigger impact on Cairo. And for simplicity's sake, I created the chart. So for Great Zimbabwe and Wangara, 2 cities with gold that didn't really bring any culture, they can choose one of the 3 cultures to write about, because they didn't start with any culture. For Kilwa, since it started with language, you can only write about Islamic or local African tradition cultures. Cairo started with Islam, so Cairo cannot write about Islam, but could write about local African traditions and language, so on and so forth. This chart will help you out. Once you have selected the culture to talk about, you'll write it here and give me a general idea of how that culture would change your city. Next, let's go ahead and get to the specifics. You have to have a scene example. From our earlier lessons, there are 6 different scene examples, ranging from artistic expression all the way to material evidence. Pick one and write the scene example here, and then explain how that would change your city. You also need an unseen example. Again, from our earlier lessons, there are 4 different unseen examples. Pick one, write it here, and then explain how this would change your city. And there you have it. That's how you write the African Trade Simulation VCR. And if you have any questions, you can email me and see me at lunch or MAP.